Okay, so we're heading back up the mountainside again. This is AG here. Sorry for not properly um, introducing myself, but I was like thinking about some things. Primarily some of the stuff in the colder areas up here that I can do. One of which, pull this out and show the different types of arrows. So let's try out a bomb arrow. There we go. Just wanted to show off bomb arrows a little bit. I'm not actually knowing how this game works. I'm not gonna have a good time to use bomb arrows regularly in the actual game, so I just wanted to actual game, acting as if this isn't actually part of the game. But another thing. Ow. Okay, so what I was talking about is that is that the entire idea is that we're going around this plateau in a tutorial like state, mostly because the game wants to get you ready for like how everything in the game works before you dive headfirst into the full open world experience, as some people call it. And I've been kind of thinking about how tutorials in games nowadays get maligned because they're either too easy, too difficult, or too long. Every once in a while you hear someone say that tutorial was too short, but you hear people saying all the time that a tutorial is too long. And I feel that when it comes to Breath of the Wild, like, this is, I think, episode like 4, maybe 5. I can't actually tell, like, because I've been recording for, I think, about 2 hours now. So I think about like 5 episodes at this point. Could be wrong though. Did I actually get flint or did I get amber? I got it. Okay. At least it gives me a chance to show off red jelly. But yeah, there's the this tutorial bit just feels like a condensed version of the open world experience that you're normally gonna have while playing the game. It's just in a slightly different environment. Thought that was something over there. Going back across this mountain. There we go. There it is. I like how it reset the rock to back to where it's supposed to have landed. Yeah, I was like, yeah, let's just slide. Look, another EX chest. You don't usually see them too often outside of the tutorial area, because they're mostly there to like give you a head start. Look, more bomb arrows. Those are going to be useful. But yeah, it's like with Breath of the Wild, it doesn't really feel like a tutorial. It just feels like that you're exploring an area. roughly the size of previous Zelda games at your own speed and leisure. I like I like putting little markers on the shrines that I see around, so I'm reminded when I go back to an area, like, hey, you've always seen this one. But yeah, we came over here for this. So here, let me throw down one of these pieces of wood. Throw a choo-choo red jelly on it. And then arrow. Yeah, I figured I was a little too close. I'll just eat this drumstick. And you'll notice that the ice starts to melt. So let's help with this torch. Yeah, so this is actively like one of my favorite like Korok like little puzzles that they have. Because it's like ice melt it with fire. And then you basically go like, oh, that'd be easy. I don't have anything to start a fire. Whoops. So you have to like mark it on your map, come back to it later. Like, it's really funny to watch people play through the game the first time, encounter one of those, and go like, I know exactly what to do. I don't have any of the stuff to actually do it, though. Gonna drink a little more. But there is one thing that I will say about this beginning part that kind of irks me, and that it's actually has to do with most tutorials in games, in which when you play through the game, I don't want to say enough, but like at least once, and you're used to the end game like abilities that you have, going back to the beginning of the game is sometimes really difficult. So I could see why some people would say like a tutorial's long because they didn't get to because they haven't been able to get to the point of the game. Sorry, the part of the game that they recognize as being easy for them, but it's not the fact that the game is easy, it's the fact that they've become accustomed to it. So something I actually found out recently, like, oh, I'll just take care of this guy really fast. Normally you're supposed to use the ability that you get right in there to do this, but found out that you can just use the power of time. Push it more towards the shore. Like, this certainly takes like a lot more time than it ever needs to, and you could just wait till you get the power to use it. But I just find it kind of funny that once again it's problem solving through your own means. Oh, I am in the water. Whoops. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Not well, but it works. Wasted a bunch of arrows for that to not work. That's what I get for trying to cheat the system. Keep skipping it. Sorry. Burning things. Remember, kids, fire bad. Cryonis trial. I found so many people that have no idea what cryonis means. Like it's something that's just been in the back of my mind mostly because I like ice users in in games. So it's like, oh look, it's cryonis. Oh, it's the power to control ice. Create a pillar of ice from the water surface. These pillars can be used as stepping stones or as obstacles. Use it on it again to break it. Like, it's one of the more interesting powers. Like, here, I'll show you. Like, I'm going to go into the water. Freeze. Lifts up. What you can do is you can press down on the D-pad to either have it be far or under you, and then just lift. I've seen these guys in a bit. Chop that. Traveler's Spear. Even though man-made items are a lot better durability-wise than the enemy stuff. But the enemy stuff usually does slightly more, does more damage than the man-made stuff. So that's why I picked the spear instead of the fast-hitting spear than the kind of flimsy club. I have all four. How? Yeah, ingredients with different effects will cancel each other out when you cook them, which is why when you make a dish, you want to focus, like, really heavily on one of those attributes. Oh. Where'd you even come from? Extraordinary. That means it's finally time. Link, it's finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, imagine an X on your map. 4 shrines as endpoints. Find the points where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where are 2 lines connecting the shrines across all your... Okay, creepy old man. Who's good at vanishing. So yeah, it's like you see the Cryonis shrine, you see the bomb shrine. Like, first thing that pops in your head is, the Temple of Time. Okay. So now we have to go there. That's weird. Usually it would be popping up. Oh, there it is. Gonna kind of take the long way around to kind of show you. Normally what you'll be doing is you'll just be freezing ice across the hazardous water a lot of the times. But Cryonis does have its useful things, like icy things. If you if something creates ice and you use Cryonis on that ice that is created that has the same sort of like glow, you can destroy it, which is actually kind of useful in several moments of the game. This is gonna go poorly. Or I decided to go down this way. Link free climbing master of Hyrule is slowly making his way down so he can fight an icy bat. Oh. Thanks, game. Okay. Much like the icy choo-choos, those things have the ability to freeze you solid. Yeah, that like charging attack is literally the only reason why I like polearms in this game. Like I would rather take a fast hitting spear than a hard hitting long greatsword. So now we can actually get this. Instead of doing what I was doing before and trying to use the raft, use this. Kind of just shimmy around. Too close. There you go. That was a weird voice crack. That's annoying. It's not letting me. Oh, do you know what? I know what's up. I'm supposed to use this door. Whoops. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be able to make it back. Luckily, I think the game auto-saved when I grabbed the chest. Hopefully even sooner than that. I think it's supposed to auto-save after enemy encounters. Nope, after I got the chest. Okay. Okay. Got a few regular keys to come down, and now I got a bunch of eyeballs. That will surely be useful. Okay, let's try that. There we go. This one was a kind of a meanie. There we go. Gonna quickly grab this this guy over here. Look at all these enemies. Now they've taken out the smaller guys. And the big guy is still stuck up there. I'm gonna quickly grab all the stuff down here. I do like how they have this little outpost right here to give you everything you need to make a fire, to make food to withstand the cold. I was about to call them spicy potions, but basically that. The way you're actually supposed to get up there is cut the ropes like that. You get rewarded with 2 chests with miscellaneous items. Look, arrows. More arrows. While we're here, might as well cook a few more things. Gonna take this fish, the mushroom. It's a full heal and some mushroom stuff. Speed boost. Take 2 of those. An item. So I can make 2 of them. Not those. Meat. Fish. That. Take 5 peppers. 5 apples. 5 mushrooms. Oh, something I recently found out. You could also throw things at a higher distance if you press down on the D-pad. It's kind of neat. Is that going to help when you're cooking though? Because that's probably the only time you're ever actually going to be using sort of holding mechanic. Let's make 5 acorns. Bokoblin guts. These are actually very useful, especially when you're dealing with some of the armor sets later on, because it basically goes common, uncommon, rare. Like I said, and then actually in some ways there's like common, uncommon, and then like the last one is rare. That should be enough, but what I'm gonna do for the last one is actually take 5 of these apples and then cook them all at once, like this. So I have more of this type of healing item, which is slightly better than a regular apple, but not drastic enough that you need to do whole meat. Whoops. I'm gonna cook 3 of these together. That usually turns out the best, cooking 3 stem mushrooms together. It's at this point of the game, it's a full heal and a little bit, and full and it fills up your gauge. And just climb to the top of this, because I was like, if you see a pillar, like honestly, like if there isn't something on top of that pillar, like then that is just a waste of time to climb it. Why would they just put something you can climb if you don't get anything out of it? Just 5 arrows, but still it's something. Climbing back down. That sort of let go then re-grab sort of thing I was doing there is actually really useful in certain moments. Surprised that he didn't see that. He's just burning his stick. Yeah, like I just showed, you can use magnesis for a lot more than just grabbing a chest from the water. Mostly what you'll be roasted bass. That's a common thing that you're gonna find in bokoblin camps, where it's pre-cooked items that they're just like holding on to. Because they don't know how to cook. And then they keep their most prized possessions in these stone chests. And the Temple of Time is right over there. My timer is saying that I should have actually ended by now, but I'm gonna just continue for a little bit longer, make this an extra long episode because of the events that happen in the I almost said church, but in the temple. Rusty sword. Roasted meat. Yeah, there's a few other things, especially in this, in the Forest of Spirits that, that I should get. And I think I'm going to do that in a, second video after this one. But that's probably going to be later. Because it's going to be a little bit more helpful when I actually have some more tools at the ready. Because the old man still has yet to give me that paraglider. And there's a few more things that I can take advantage of while I'm exploring a little bit. Luckily, there is a conveniently busted out window, so we can just jump through that. Man, I find it really funny that, like, at some point people in video games were really scared to do this sort of thing. Oh, it almost feels like old hat. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. Please tell me what you desire. Stamina. Do you wish to expand stamina? Yes. And that is my reward for doing the entire tutorial, is an upgrade to health or stamina. Here I am, get up here quickly. There's the ladder. You can't fall off of ladders when you run out of stamina, so you can just, like, jump up them all you want.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path. Lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, bravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter. My dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, My daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
The cutscene is so long that it almost put my Switch to sleep almost. Okay, now we have the paraglider. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. Objective: destroy Ganon. At this point, essentially, we can just go and finish the game right now. But they also give us a quest to seek out Impa if you need help with that task. And from here on, the game basically fully opens up. You have all of the necessary equipment you need. You're already in a green tunic. So you effectively can start your quest now. You have a lot of healing items. You have a way to go around. You, as a person, know the mechanics in and out of the game after playing for, let's just put it at a generous 3 hours. So you can effectively just do whatever you want now. You can travel to anywhere in the map you want, and you don't have to feel bad about putting off the story to do whatever you want, because the game literally tells you, hey, your goal is to defeat Ganon at all costs. Do whatever you need to do to get into the in the preparation or mind state to fully do that. There you go. Yeah, so when you're in the air, you can pull it out and you can quickly put it back in so you don't use as much. While you're in the air, you could also drop bombs and detonate them while you're actually still in the air. It's kind of neat. There's a few other things we can do around here, but that's basically all the time I have for now. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.